Hey, what's up, everybody? So, Joshua with Oki here. Today, we're going to dive in a little bit of crypto. Right now, we have Bitcoin completely mooning right now. So, I want to go ahead and cover probably what you should start looking at, what next steps you should be considering, because basically, when Bitcoin makes moves like this, there's a cycle that always seems to happen. All right. So, I'm just going to go ahead and try to point it out to you, and we'll get right into it. So Bitcoin right now is at 54,000, approaching 55. It's hit 55, but what you need to consider is it's going to take a crap ton of more money for it to reach 100, 150,000, 200,000, what everybody's predicting. I don't really see it necessarily hitting possibly 100K. I think if anything, you're looking at maybe 70, 75,000, and then a retracement. Typically, what's going to happen at that point is the money that's been made in Bitcoin is going to funnel its way down to Ethereum. It's going to funnel its way down to like Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Polygon, Matic, things like that. What traditionally happens is once Bitcoin makes moves like this, and in the last hour it's up 8.6%, the top 20 coins will pump behind it, and then the top 100 coins will follow right behind that. So I don't really typically invest in Bitcoin at all. I really just stay away from that. I'm more interested in the low caps, the gaming coins, stuff like that, because I'm in this to make money. I'm not in this to hodl forever. Okay, so you need to have a exit plan. Um, so what you really need to be considering is when you start going up to 60,000, 65,000. This is not financial advice. This is literally just for entertainment purposes. You should start scaling out of your trades. Start putting some money into the top 20s, the top 100 altcoins, because they're all going to pump. So basically, it's like this. If you look at overall and the whole thing here, what happens is when you get into here, and this is basically where we just had our last low bear market. Let me go back for a year. This is when you should have been buying in. It's simple, right? Buy the dip, don't buy the top. But basically, if you would have bought into here, you'd made some gains here. You could have sold out here, or you could have sold out around here. I'm still predicting that we probably hit about 60, 65, even 75,000. And at that point, I'm going to start scaling out, and I'm going to be looking at some of these other. So I'll be looking at stuff like Polymatic, which is basically Polygon. Their supply is really, really low, and they can make a run up just like Solana. At the same time that Bitcoin was going through its phases, pull the year up again. At the same time this was happening, if you notice, you can go look at Solana, and Solana in this exact same time frame made stupid, stupid gains. All right, let's go check this out. So look, this is literally when Bitcoin was down at like what 30,000, 40,000, and then Solana just completely dominated. I mean, if you would have gotten in here at $27, $28 back in July, you would have rode this thing all the way up to 189. It actually went as high as $220 in the first week of September. And so that gain right there, July, I mean, you're looking at a stupid gain. This is actually, I guess, accounting for something a little bit different. But you would have made silly, silly gains. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts here. Go ahead and bring this over here. So let's look up Solana. I like typically using Trading View. Solana. We can use FTX. It's okay. Now, if we were to scale out of this, let's go back to the year. So this is pretty much when you probably should have gotten in. This is about 38. We'll just take it right here at 23, okay? If you would have gotten in during the bear market, because you got to understand, we're in this to make money. We're not in this to hodl forever. So the big, juicy, stupid gains come from getting into these markets super, super early. So move this over here. We'll go ahead and scale this up a little bit. Look at that. You're looking at an 817% gain if you were smart and realized this to begin with. So what am I doing now? I'm looking at the underlying systems that are about to pump up next. I'm looking at the top 20s. I'm looking at the top hundreds. I What I've really been interested in lately is like UFO, which is a gaming coin. Because again, if you notice right now, the entire alt markets are going down, but this is the time when you start buying these things because people are going to scale out of Bitcoin and they're going to flood these alts because that's where the juicy gains are made. We're talking about gains of 10x, 20x, 50x. Um, so if you're not in this game to make money, I don't know really what you're doing. But anyways, UFO Gaming Coin, they're basically just got listed on a centralized exchange. So now they have way more volume being transferred between their platform. And the thing about them is if you want to get the opportunity to basically get NFTs, free airdrops, stuff like that, you have to have these UFO coins. It's the only way you're going to be able to get these projects, okay? They are on the Ethereum network, so you do have to pay like gas fees and stuff like that if you use Uniswap. Another coin that I'm very interested in right now is Altura. So Altura is going to basically be like an NFT marketplace. They're going to be a onboarding platform for all the future games. I can't say all, but most of the future games will be built off of the Altura technology. They are the first people in the space to offer NFTs using smart contracts that actually can adapt, that actually can have change. So let's say I have a sword that's an NFT for my character. Well, the sword can change colors, it can change traits like power, all that stuff, right? And the cool thing is you can trade it from person to person. There's many other like this, but Altura is, I mean, look at it. It's under a cent right now. So, and they're just launching literally in like the next couple hours or sometime this week. They're launching their developer portal, which will allow game developers to come in and start building on their API. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. If you were to look at this in comparison, we can look at something like Engine Coin. Okay, now Engine Coin's still a great buy to get into, but right now they're at 169. Just recently they got down to $1.56, and right before we had this major run up with Bitcoin, we were down to $1. So if you would have gotten in July, a little bit around September, you'd been pretty good. But so basically, you look at where you can grow. Engine right now is 169. So if you get in Altura, you may be looking at some serious gains, about 100x, maybe even more. Okay. So what else do we have? We have Matic right now, which is basically Polygon. And this marketplace is just now starting to come up. To me, Matic is kind of like going to be the next Solana. It's going to have a huge pump. It's going to have, already has a marketplace for NFTs to be traded and bought and all that good stuff. And their gas fees are extremely, extremely low. You literally pay like, 2 cents, 5 cents, whatever on your trades. And that's super affordable for most people. So if you look at the gains from Solana, it went from $17 to $220 in literally a month or so. You got to understand that Polygon hasn't even pumped yet. So this is where my focus is. It still literally has not pumped at all. It's just now starting to get back to its all-time high. So to me, this is pretty much a no-brainer. Another thing to consider is the supply of Matic is actually really, really low on exchanges. And there's actually more Polygon locked up than there is Ethereum 2.0. So that's actually really, really huge when you think about it. And eventually there's going to be a supply shock. And I don't see why this can't run up to at least, $20, $50, $75, if not more, by end of the year. What else can we look at here? So we can go through the market cap here. Another couple things I'm very, very interested in is, let's go to the NFT related coins, see what's going on over here. Another cool thing you should be looking at is probably Decentraland and the Sandbox. So these are going to be metaverses that are going to be built. A lot of the platforms like Altura, a lot of the upcoming video games that are kind of outside these networks, building their own networks, they're going to be working with Sandbox and the Decentraland to launch their their NFT characters, their NFT uh, items to the players that are actually in these metaverses. Um, so that's really, really cool. And if you get in early, it could be huge. Now, I'm personally not going into the sandbox. I think it's kind of too high. I'm going to wait for a little bit more of a correction. I think if you can get in around like 20 cents or something, what's the low right here, 59, around there would be a great entry point for you. It's high just not too long ago was over $1. But one thing to consider is like the market cap and how many coins. So there's only 890 million Sandcoins. So there's not really a big supply out there, which has good opportunity for it to make a lot of money. If you were to look at Axie Infinity, which is pretty much really, really big in the space, they are a paid play to earn type of gaming, and they're also going to become a DAO, which is basically a decentralized gaming company where the players will actually have a lot of voting rights when the time comes. If you look at this pump right now, so October, which we're in, it was down to 122. Actually, let's even look at this. So let's see what we got. Right here, if you would have bought in September for $50, which was just around the corner about a couple weeks ago, this thing has literally skyrocketed to over $139. In my opinion, there's better money being spent to jump into these gaming cryptos because that is going to be the mainstream onboarding that is going to bring the phenomenon, the conscious revolution to the blockchain. It's hard to get people to invest into crypto or blockchains, but it's easier to get people to understand to play these games and basically get familiar with using blockchain technology. And that in turn is going to make our cryptocurrencies moon even more. But what you need to be looking out for is these gems like this. You want to be looking at projects that are just coming up, like I just told you, like UFO Gaming, right? This thing has been on an absolute tear. So over the last 14 days, it's up 261%. So, I mean, I got in right here. I'm very transparent with my videos. I'm not trying to pump my bags or anything like that. I'm just letting you know the spaces that's happening. And like I said, they just got listed on an exchange. Another thing to consider is basically when Bitcoin's pumping like this, you probably want to start moving your money into NFTs because those are going to move. Basically, if you would have gotten into like Solana when it was pumping, you want to get into the underlying layers because those pump with it. So if you would have bought an NFT from Solana at the beginning before everything started pumping up, because everybody was so focused on Ethereum and OpenSea, you would have made 100,000. Sorry, you would have made 1,000x, 500x, 100x easily. I'll give you a prime example. I got one of these things off of Solana art, not bears, called Gloom. So I picked up one of these, and right now it's at 148, the floor. But what I want to point to you is during this cycle, before it really started taking off, I bought one of these. I actually minted two of them, and I got a really, really rare. Let's sort by high to low. So sort right here, high to low. I mean, these are going for astronomical numbers right now when you think about it. Each Solana coin right now is going for 160. I had a bald one. Let's see if we can pull it up. I haven't really seen mine listed since I've sold it, but I had like a bald one, kind of similar to this. I paid 1 SOL, and I sold it 2 days later for 21 SOL, which was a profit of $3,600. So off $150, I made $3,600 in 2 days. So these are the type of the gains that are out here. You just really have to understand the communities, what these projects are, what people are looking for. We made a video, if you look back through our channel, just recently about like what are NFTs, how to get involved and stuff like that. And that's where we kind of break a lot of this ideas down exactly what this is. But what I'm trying to show you is while Bitcoin is pumping, you need to be looking at the top 20 coins, the top 100 coins, and you need to be looking at these NFT marketplaces because people are going to be funneling all that money into these NFTs. So Solana art is a great place to go pick up Solana-like projects. Solana is going to be pretty much probably the next OpenSea if it's not already. There's really no competition to OpenSea. And if you don't know this, Ethereum and OpenSea are pretty much the dominant leaders in the NFT space. Now, maybe you don't know what OpenSea is, so we'll go check it out real quick. If you were to look up some of these top projects right now, like Kong's, these things current floor right now is 16 Ethereum. So that's like $40,000 just to get into this type of project. If you would have gotten in early, look at the activity. You notice right here the average price was 0.5, which is, I don't know, $1,200, $1,400, and now this thing is worth 21 Ethereum on average. Okay, so let's go back real quick. Let's just take, for example, if we were to buy one of these, this one's basically 17 Ethereum, it's $60,000. So you could have gotten in for $1,300, and I don't know, like a month or two, you would have gone up to $60,000. These are the type of gains we're trying to bring to you guys. So make sure you pay attention, hit like, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe with the bell icon. And we're going to start bringing you guys some of this awesome content, okay? You guys have a great day.